Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So I'm going all Australiana in my planner this week with some gorgeous kookaburras. So let's go ahead and get to it. Alright, so if you saw my Hobby Hoppers haul a couple of weeks ago, you would have seen that I got the dies for the Kookaburra Party set from Uniquely Creative. I got the stamps that go with it, and I also got this really pretty gum leaf stencil. So I thought I'd put all these together to do an Australia Day week that's not Australia Day, it's more just Australiana. That's sort of where I'm going with this. So I'm just going to take off my little notes that I've got here. Take all them off. I'm also going to take off my stickers because I've got an Australia Day sticker and my pregnancy countdown. So I'm just going to take them off and then we can start doing some ink. Not going to get too worried about letting that dry or anything because I'll do this page first. So the stencil itself is a little bit smaller than my page, which is fine. Oh. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the edge of the page and then I'll just move it along to kind of fill it all up. So I'm going to stick my page down to my mat first, and I'll just grab just a washi tape just to do this. I did just tell Ryan I was not going to use any washi tape, but I don't think this counts. So I'm just going to stick this down to my mat. It doesn't need to be straight or anything because I'm just going to play around. And then we'll get the little stencil, and I can put this wherever I like, really. Go. And I'm just going to stick this down as well, just so it doesn't wander away. And then using Lucky Clover and Mowed Lawn, I'm just going to play with the colours. So I might do a bit darker in the corner, a little bit lighter down here, and then we'll move them around to kind of make it look good. So, I haven't even used this stencil yet, so I'm very excited. Now I don't know if this is going to, because there's a really little kind of, that's what I'm looking for. It's like a very skinny little bit there that I'm not sure if that's going to come up when I'm inking and then make it so it doesn't show you the kind of pattern, but we'll have a look. Oh, that looks fine. Actually, that looks really cool. So I'm just going to go ahead and ink all of this up. I'm going to play a little bit with the colours, so kind of have the two colours together. So some will be all Mowed Lawn, some will be all Lucky Clover, some will be a combination of the two. And all I'm going to try and do, and actually just to help me out a little bit, I just want to make sure I don't go onto the actual other part of the page. So I'm just going to give myself a little bit more room, just so that I don't accidentally get lines on the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and ink all of this up, and then I will be back with the reveal of the first of my whole page. So I've done the first little bit. I'm just going to pick my mask up. That looks so cool. I love the colours. That's so cool. Alright, and then we'll just sort of repeat the pattern. I'm just going to stick it down here. I'm just not crossing over, but hopefully it looks like it's still like it's repeating. I hope it doesn't look too, fake's not the right word, but I hope it doesn't look too unnatural that we've moved the stencil. So I'm just going to continue on this part and then the bottom part as well, and I'll be right back. I'm going to do the same thing on the other one. But I'll do it off camera. I kind of messed up a little bit, so I didn't tape off here and here, so you've kind of got that smudge line on the side. But honestly, I think that looks really cool. I'm actually really happy with that. You could take this a step further if you wanted to, and you could have the stencil on there and put like some glitter gel or something on to kind of give you some texture as well. But I think that looks really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other side, and I'm just going to click my fingers and we're going to be done, and then we'll move on to the next bit. Okay, so that's what I end up with. I did try along the way to use an ink blending tool instead, because when I switched pages, I went to kind of wipe off my stencil and I bent some of the little protective bits in the middle. If you used a sticky glue or something like that, that would obviously stay down. I was being lazy, so some of the, I guess the leaf bend marks aren't so great, but I think it'll be fine. I don't think I'm going to notice. Alright, so to kind of add a little bit of life to this, because we can't have it just like that, I'm going to stamp color and die cut some of these very cute kookaburras. I kind of think I want one branch on either side, one going each way, and then I'm going to do each of the big kookaburras. So, just going to grab a bit of my Express It blending card. Whoops. Apparently I'm also going to take out the lid, which is fine. I do have ink all over my fingers, so I just tend to spray just a little bit of water if I'm then going to go and play with clean paper, just because I don't want to get inky fingers all over beautiful white cardstock. Alright, so I'll just put the blending card in and just stamp out the images that I want. Just keeping in mind I'm going to do 2 of the gum leaf, of the stem. So I did double stamp those just because it's the first time I've used those stamps, so I was a little worried that they weren't going to stamp well, but they did. They stamped absolutely beautifully. Now, I don't know about you, but I forget what colours things are. So I like to just grab up a picture, and that way I've got something to reference when I'm colouring. So we've got the kookaburra there. Oh, I could have a bit of blue. Oh, I could have a bit of blue. I don't know if I'll go a bit of blue. I think I might go mostly browns. So for the colours, this is the fun part. That looks like a really deep kind of chocolatey brown. So I reckon I'm going to do, I'm over here. I think I'm going to do E27, E39, and just a little bit of E17. So 17, 27, and 39 is the darkest. And then for the light part, we're going to be playing up here. So I'm going to do E40, E41. I think I'll do E42. I'll just stay with those E40s. I just want to see. There is some blue. So I'm going to bring in just a little bit of turquoise for his little spots. I'm going to stay very light though. So I'm going to bring BG11 and BG53. BG11, use those for the little spots. And the only thing I'm still worried about is his beak, which I think I'm going to do as a grey, and I'm going to do as neutral greys on the bottom, on the top, and then we'll just do the same colour as his body on the... So his wings are the dark part. So I'll do one of these with you, and then the other one I'll do sort of on its own. So I want the dark bit to be underneath his sort of head bit here. So I'm just laying in that dark. I may also bring in E59 just for the... Really not very good at colouring at the moment, so I can't lean over. For these little stripy bits here, I might bring in some E59 just to darken those up. So I'm just going to go straight over the top of them. Then we'll add in some extras. So we'll come down the side, and then I'll just do a little bit around his feathers, like the feather bits at the bottom here where there would be shadow. And then we'll come in with the 27. 27 is definitely darker. Sometimes you look at them on the, even on the swatch thing, and they look slightly darker or lighter, so you just sort of play with the colours when you get them on. Which has got a bit of red to it, which I'm a little nervous about, but I think it'll be okay. I'll just add that in the middle there. I think I've made him too red, but it'll be alright. And I'm just coming in just in the little bits between the spots, just to add a little bit of the red so it doesn't look too silly. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the dark on the feathers at the bottom. So we'll do the really dark underneath, and then just a little bit down the middle, and then blend out with the other two. Alright, so like I said, I'm just going to add a little bit of E59 just on these little where there's the stripy lines. I'm just being messy. There's no reason to even blend this in. It'll be fine. Actually, I might just do a little bit of blending where the 17 is, but just to kind of darken those up a little bit. And then we'll come in with the 53 and the 11. Put the spots in. I'm not sure I like the spots. But the good thing is, because I've done the light colour, if I do need to make this darker, like if I needed to bring in another darker colour instead of the light, it's very easy to just go over the top. You could get away with using one colour there if you wanted. Okay, and then, so for his face, I'm just going to use a little bit of the 39 sort of around his eye in this bit. Add a little bit around his eye, sort of to this fuzzy bit. A little bit of the 17. Like I said, I'm showing you the colouring on this first one, because then the other ones I'm gonna go off and do them off camera, because I know this takes a long time. But some people sort of come back to me and say, oh, I wish you had done the colouring, and other people are the opposite. So I never quite know what to do. So please let me know if you have an opinion either way. So then around where the dark is, I'm coming in with the 42, and I'm being very messy here, and that's a sort of an on-purpose thing. I'm trying to blend those two colours together, which they won't blend because they're not supposed to. But you'll get a bit of a wash between the two, and then come out again with 41, and then come out again. This is just for his head, and then just a little bit then right at the top with the 40. It's the first time I've tried mixing different different shades of brown. I'm usually really careful to stay in the all the E20s and all the E30s and all the E40s. So this is kind of fun. So I'm going to put a little bit more of the 42 underneath his beak, and then just along here where there's sort of the creases are, I guess, of his feathers. And just a little bit underneath his wing. So that's where all the shadows are. And then blend that out with 41 and 40. So that just a little bit of shadow is on, there's a little bit of light, sorry, right on the front of his belly. Alright, and then for his beak, I've changed my mind about the colours. I'm still going to use the neutral greys on the top. So this will be N7 and N9. N7 and N5. Just putting the dark one just right in there, and then just a little bit for just some darkness, and then blend that out with the 5 on the top, and then I'm going to put a lighter shade of neutral grey on the bottom. So we'll use, I was going to use 0, but I think I'll use 3 and 1. There's not really a lot here, so you don't have to go too crazy. Okay, that's a lot of Copics for just one image, I'm aware. And the only thing I don't like is I don't like that blue. So I'm just going to go, I just want to have a look at another Kookaburra. So they can go really, really blue. Alright, if that's the case, I'm going to pick my favourite BG, which is this BG07. I think it's really pretty. So I'm just going to add a little bit more blue and then blend it out with that BG53. So it's just they're too light. I like that. Damn, I love Copics. They're so much fun. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do all of the Kookaburras the exact same way. None of them are going to be different. The only difference is that the shading will be on the opposite side, so there'll be a little bit more darkness on the other side of this Kookaburra. I'm also going to go ahead and do the branches, but I will come back and tell you which colours I used, so you just don't have to sit through all the colouring again. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Alright, so they're all coloured in. All I have to do now is die cut them out. But I just wanted to let you know which colours I used for the branch. So I've got E74 and E77 for the branch itself. One of them's got the dark at the bottom when the branch is going to the right, and one of them's got the dark to the bottom when the branch is going to the left, so that they'll go on either side of the page. And then I used G85, YG63 and G21. I didn't need to use all 3. I could have got away with just the 2 darker ones, but I feel like G21 just added a little bit of brightness. So I did use a lot of Copics. But can I just say, I absolutely adore those Kookaburras. I was saying to Ryan before, I think I bought this set to use this week, but I can see myself sitting here colouring Kookaburras for a long time to come. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these out with the matching dies, and then we'll go back to our planner week and actually get started on the planner decoration. Out, and we're left with all of these gorgeous little pieces. Now the branches didn't come out exactly the way I wanted. I have a feeling I moved a little bit. It's a problem with bigger stamps. I have a feeling I moved the branch a little bit too much in the stamp, so it kind of got a bit off center, so it didn't fit really nicely in the die. So all I do when this happens, because it does happen and it's okay, I'm just coming around and just cutting off a little bit more of that white if there's too much for me. This is why sometimes fussy cutting is just as easy. But I do prefer the dies. It's just sometimes you've got to play with them a little bit. I also missed a little bit when I was colouring them Some of them are really inside the lines and some of the bits are really outside the lines. So now's a really good time to fix that if you feel like you need to. I actually don't mind it being slightly outside the lines. I'm okay with it. And then this is also the point where if you don't like the kind of raised look you get from using dies, you can just push that out. So just be gentle, especially with these longer ones. But now it doesn't look, it looks a little bit flatter as opposed to this one that kind of curls and does some weird stuff. And you can do it on either side, it doesn't matter. You're just pushing the cardboard out. Alright, so we'll bring back in our actual week. I love that. I really love the background. I think that looks really cool. Okay, so I'm going to have one branch on this side at the bottom. It may take away just a little bit, I think, the background, but I like it though. And then we'll have one of the little kookaburras on that branch, and then one of the little kookaburras on this branch, and then we've got the little ones to go with them, so they'll sit opposite directions. So I'm just going to stick that in, just trying to decide if I want to do, I was sort of thinking if I wanted to do it so maybe one of these flipped up or something so you had somewhere to write something. I don't think I do. AFLW does start this week, but I think I'm okay. Maybe actually. I was sort of thinking maybe I'd do a spot down the bottom that like the flap comes down, but then I'd need to redo all of the inking and I think that might be a bit much. I'm going to have that just sit up just a tinsy bit higher. Same thing with this one, just going to have that up just a little bit. And then I've got all of my little, I've got some stickers. I'm not going to do anything with the dates, I want them to stay as they are. But I do have some day off stickers and some appointment stickers and bits and pieces to put there. So I'm going to stick these down first. I'm just going to put these in using liquid glue this time. And that's just because I want to be able to manipulate them a little bit if I put them down in the wrong spot. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick these down. I've got a bunch of stickers here. The first one I'm going to put down, this is a lime and mortar one that's hand drawn by Sophie. I don't know what's taken me so long to use some of these, but I really want to use this little tent because we're going camping. We're technically camping on Sunday night, not Monday night, but I just want the little tent there just because I can. Also going to put down, I'll come back to that one. I'm also going to put days off stickers. These are Barney and Moon clear ones, and I want to use the clear ones on purpose because I don't want to go over the top of too much of what I've already got here. So I've got day off on Monday and Tuesday, and I also need to put my Australia Day and pregnancy tracker back in as well. I'm just putting these back in, not wherever they fit, but wherever kind of works. Over here, I'm going to leave the bits and pieces. I'm going to put in a little, I want to use one of these little green cars just to signify that we're coming home on Monday, and I like the fact that it's green and it kind of just adds another shade in there. I also have Saturday and Sunday off, so I'm going to put them as day off stickers as well. Feels like I'm not doing any work this week, but I am. Then just down in the bottom here, I'm just going to add in a to-do. I can just write that in if I want to or when I want to. I'll also do a happy mail eventually as well. I am debating just writing in the footy details because there's not really that many games, but I don't think they'll fit. Part of me just wants to do a flipper over here, but then the other part of me realizes how much longer that's going to take, and I've already taken a really long time to do this. And it's not that I don't love this, because I do. I think the background is really, really good. I love the colouring, but I'm also aware that I have just basically stuck down a couple of stickers and done some stamps, and that's basically it. And this has taken me like an hour. So it's, the effort to reward isn't there, but I love the way this came out, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I think I'll leave it as it is, and if I need to write the AFLW in, I will. I'll add myself in a little flipper and I'll make it on my own. I'll put a picture of it up on Instagram if that's what I do, so you can see sort of the final result, final result. Oh, I do have an appointment. I knew I got my appointment stickers out for a reason. I have an appointment on Thursday, I forgot. So it's actually really early in the morning, so I'm just going to put appointment there, and I'm just going to write in 9 a.m. just so I remember, and I'll add in the details later. And then, yeah, like I said, I'll add in the AFLW details later. But I do think I'll do a flipper. I'll just try and make it match up with what's already here on the stencil. I should have done that. I should have had it so it was a bit of paper that folded down, and then you could sort of see the stencil on the side. I think that would have looked really cool. Like I said, I'll put it on Instagram so you can check it out. So make sure you are following me over there. Leave your comments down below if you have any. Do you think this was worth it? I don't know. I really like it. I want to make that really clear. I do really like it. I just think it took a lot longer than it probably should have. I probably should have had these coloured beforehand. I love these kookaburras. This kit is amazing. It's just I don't think I've used it to its full potential, but it would look gorgeous on a card. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a big old thumbs up and let me know what you liked about it in the comments or on any of my socials. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel too for lots more weekly decorations and card making and colouring and inking, because I just basically make a mess. And that's what I do here. So if you enjoy it, make sure you're subscribed. Hope you guys have an absolutely awesome day, and I'll catch you again in my next video. Sending lots of huggles. Bye!